One more day until the Vanderpump Rules Season 11 Part 2 reunion. And I have a very special guest with me here today to pregame all things Vanderpump Rules. So hopefully you have a delicious beverage and you're wearing something comfy. And let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold, but don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Stand-up comedian and pop culture vulture Joleen Lunzer here to talk about Vanderpump Rules like we do. If this is your first time here, make sure you smash that like and subscribe. We are, you guys, I think we're like 1,500, less than 1,500 away from 40,000 subscribers. So thank you so much. That was a goal of mine to hit this year, and we are so close. So thank you for that. Remember that I'm very opinionated, okay? You guys, we take a look, it's comedy, we roast, we recap, we take a comedic look, or at least I try my best. But I'm very opinionated, but you're welcome to have your own opinions. You don't have to agree with me. You know the drill. We just, as long as we're not assholes to each other, we can agree to disagree.
That's my opinion!
It's always my favorite clip. I can't stop playing that one and this.
Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Where did you find her?
Where did you find me? All right, you guys. Welcome everyone joining us in the live chat. Thank you, Janine. Yes, I love our opinions. If you want to support the channel further than liking or subscribing, you know the drill. You can always send a super chat while we're live. I'll highlight your comment. You can send a super thanks after the video posts. A lot of you have been hitting me up on the super thanks, and I appreciate that. I want to give a couple shout outs to those of you who have done that. Recently, we got Dotting Crazy Carol, Jody, Joe King, Teresa, Chumbawamba, Tiffany, Michelle, Pamela, Alex. You guys are all amazing. You can also join my YouTube membership like Karen did here, or check me out on Patreon, and obviously Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all the stuff. It's in the description of the video. You never have to, but if you feel so inclined, it's appreciated. Okay, Melissa, starting us off with the first super chat of the live. I've missed the last two lives, so happy to catch this one. Also, thank you for introducing us to Christina Coca. She's so hilarious. Christina is so hilarious. And let me just double check, because I'm pretty sure she's coming back next Wednesday. So tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to have Ryan Bailey. And then next Wednesday, we're going to have Christina Coca back on the channel. Okay, but I'm really excited today, you guys. And I was telling you guys about this guest that I have, and this is an actual like comedian friend of mine. Like, we came up in the Los Angeles comedy scene together. She's a fellow Midwestern lady. She is so talented, you guys. She is a TV producer, writer. She has multiple podcasts. One of those podcasts being our favorite thing about Vanderpump Rules, and it's called Vanderpodcalypse Now. And when I see this title, I always think I'm going to mispronounce it, like Apocalypse Now, but Vanderpodcalypse Now. And she has this with her host, Jason Horton, and they say it's the Francis Ford Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola and Andy Cohen had a baby, that baby is them. And if you've never heard of their podcast before, not only do they have an awesome logo, but I've pinned a link to for you guys to check it out. And in the description of this video, you'll find a link for their Instagram. You'll find a link for my guests, her Instagram. And yeah, so please go subscribe to their podcast. I guarantee you are going to love it, and you are going to love my hilarious guests. So please, you guys, give a warm welcome to my friend, Rebecca Leib.
Hey, thank you so much. That was like such a fun intro. I was like, she covered everything. That's all I have.
Well, no, you have so much though, Leib. Like, you have like, what is your like Ghost Town Pod?
Yeah. That's
tell me a little bit about or tell us a little bit about Ghost Town, because that one's super cool too.
Thank you so much. No, I mean, there's weirdly more crossover than you would think between my very extra, very melodramatic Vanderpump podcast and Ghost Town, which is weird history, true crime, kind of paranormal. We do a lot of like cultural, esoteric news, things like that. It's kind of all over the board, but it's very fun. Yeah, the through line is kind of like Los Angeles, like culture. We do a lot of like reality TV deep dives on both, really. But it's very fun. And obviously, Vanderpump is really just such a passion, such a love. So we had to extend it. Well, just natural.
Now, have you been a fan of Van? Because I don't think when you and I were doing comedy together in Los Angeles, we never talked about it.
Never. It's like a secret. I think at that point, I forget exact because we've known each other so long.
I know.
I wonder. I work in TV and I was unemployed. Surprise, surprise. And one of my friends was like, one of my friends, oh, hi everybody, was like, you need to watch. You don't know, you're not doing anything right now. You're just sitting in bed and drinking wine. You need to watch this show. And I was like, well, I've got lots of shows to watch. Did I? Of course I didn't. Stop everything for Vanderpump. She was like, Vanderpump is like The Sopranos. Like it's better than it. It's better than Mad Men. She's like, it's better than every piece of TV I've ever seen. And I was just like, damn. So I had to start. And of course I binged the first, this is probably up to season 6 or 7 at that point. So we met before I was introduced to my love that is Vanderpump now. But like I binged it in like a week. And I was in the headspace where I was like gonna throw drinks at people. Like I was like full like curse. I was like dotying.
Yes.
I was like dotying. It was amazing. Whenever I was like, I can't stop talking about it. I love it so much. And we wanted to do a recap podcast or some type of thing, me and Jason, for a long time because we're both big fans. So we started a while back doing recaps season 8, but then we kind of did not do that because we were so disappointed.
8
by
was
that.
bad.
It was a dog of a season. But now we're back because, first of all, Sandoval, second of all, kind of the transition of the show as a whole and the characters moving on and evolving to different shows. It's a really great time to be watching Vanderpump.
It really is. Artist, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you for the laughs. You are so welcome, artist. Kara, thank you. Yes, Ryan Bailey. Next was and now Rebecca, there's crossover with you and Ryan Bailey because you were you the
we were doing their socials. Me and Ryan did their socials for their last Crappies. I mean, Watch What Happens has been a dear friend of us and me for a long time. Also, they've been in comedy forever too. So I've known them since we were doing very bad improv to like 3 people.
You know what's so crazy is there are so many Vanderpump and Bravo recappers who, or blog, whatever you want to call podcasters, who are out of the improv world.
Yeah. I think because we're geniuses and this is a show for geniuses.
I love it. I think so too. Obviously. Yes. Evelyn, it's so like, you'll love Rebecca Leib. She's gonna, dotying. Hello. That's our new favorite, our new favorite term. Okay. So I have to get your thoughts since obviously I listen to your podcast. So I know that you and I are pretty much on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
To this kind of thing.
Because I thought everyone was on our wavelength, and especially you did, I didn't see it on this, but I saw something on your Instagram that was like, like Ariana has the choice to film or not. And that's kind of like her reality. But so many people don't think that, which is funny because there are so many times during this whole show that like people have chosen not to film or chosen to not film parts of their lives. And Lala specifically, of all the people that we're getting a diatribe from at the end of a fucking show about boundaries and about people's jobs and their like authenticity. I was like, really? They chose Lala got drafted into doing this? Jesus Christ. I'd rather have Jax, it's Jackson or like 14th nose job in, like, come on. I was like about to throw my phone at the TV. I was so
right.
Great.
And if that was going to be their last hurrah as Lala, as the narrator, trying to tell us how to when really she can say, oh, I realize like she's not self-aware as she would like us to believe. Like she's definitely not. And what a slap in the face to viewers to have her be that way. But here's a question for you. Lala recently said on one of her Amazon Lives, she has been, spilling a lot on there, that she carried this season on her back. Rebecca Leib, what do you think about that? Have you heard that before?
I have her. I mean, I can't watch her Amazon Lives because it looks like she's been kidnapped. I was like, are you okay? Like blink once if you're like, okay. I'm like, this is like, it harkens back to old Vanderpump apartments where I'm like, cameras are going to be here, right? Like you can clean up a little bit. I get that it's IKEA, but like clean that shit up. Just put the dirty laundry in the corner that they don't film it. I'm just like, what is happening there? Put something on the wall. Jesus.
Where is she filming? I know it's her house, but like what room is that? Because obviously she has like the things she's going to sell. And then in between she's like, anyways, I carried this show on my back, Lauren from Utah.
Oh, with your lame fucking like finding a sperm donor. I was like, nobody cares about like
Nobody.
we don't want to see kids on the show, really. Like, I get it. Summer Woman is very cute. I will give her that. But like, your storyline, the show was on your corny ass fucking storylines back. Like, wow. You really
No.
did lose the plot, Lala.
She did. And, it's such a fall from grace, watching her from season 10. And we think, I guess I did have my criticisms, and people were quick to check me on that when I was covering last season. I thought maybe I am being too judgmental because I'm a sober girl too. So I'm like, maybe she has seen this clarity and sobriety, and I'm not giving her credit for that. But the more I watch, I'm like, oh no, she's not doing the work, because she's just selling out in whatever direction she thinks is going to get her ahead, which we understand that that's how reality TV works. I mean, you as a TV producer, you understand more than anyone how this business works. But I think when it comes off, and let me know how you feel about this, when it comes off so disingenuous and so much like you'll just flip and say anything for a paycheck, I don't want to watch that.
It's sweaty. It looks desperate, and it's corny. Like,
yes.
And also for someone who's been on the show, and they all have for so long, I get on one hand why they would lack self-awareness around that, because I'm sure the producers are like, we love you. We want to see your life. We want to see this authentic part of your life. We've grown up with you. So there is kind of this goodwill there. But at the same time, we want to see a show that has really fun, substantial storylines and storylines that feel fulfilling and authentic in a way where it's not like a theme party. Like, I don't want to see any more Roaring 20s. Can we just totally like
right?
Are we done with Roaring 20s? The 20s are over. Like
the point.
Yeah.
It was like, so that, granted, when they were in San Francisco this season, it did bring forth, I guess, the conversation between Scheana and Sandoval, but it didn't have anything to do with we didn't have to dress up. And of course, guess whose idea it was? Rebecca Brock's.
God, Brock, worst fashion sense of maybe anyone in the show. I'm like, how many like bad like drapery blazers can they make for you? Like, enough. Yes. Who's making these poor blazers? Who's in the back? Who's in your Instagram live like feverishly making these like wide like blazers for your broad shoulders that you wear once, and then I don't know where they go. It's some horrible.
I love. On your recent episode, you and Jason were breaking down the fashion, and you were talking about this, and then you also said, but the number one worst blazer went to Vanderpump.
Lisa's, what blue snake did she wrestle and kill to create? What sparkly,
so bad,
netherworldly, it's so bad. And she is very, I've always said she's very Austin Powers. Her and Austin Powers
she
like
is.
She's like, oh, like she's very like, oh, I'm horny. I was like, you're not horny, ma'am. You're not horny. And we know that from Real Housewives. You're never horny. So don't be horny. Like, you don't have to be horny. Just be, the like the grande dame that you are, and stay out of things too. And also, like, she was in this season so minimally, which I didn't miss her. And I don't know if you talked about that before too, but I'm like, we don't need her. Right?
No, I agree with you. I feel like getting rid of Lisa Vanderpump, I understand her name's on the show. She's still the executive producer, but I feel like getting rid of her would actually do the show, or maybe it's too late now, but it would do the show a service, because I think something I laughed out loud that you said your last episode. Sorry to keep bringing this up, but I like really enjoyed, I enjoy your episodes, but I enjoyed your last episode when she was because we've talked about this over here, when she was so shocked that Lala could possibly have sex while pregnant. Yeah. Like, oh, darling, what? And you were like, go to bed, grandma.
I know. It's like, night, Nana. It's time. Someone get her to her dressing room. Remember that shot in the reunion last episode where she was pointing to the sign, the 8.5 by 11 printed sign on her dressing room? She's like, Lisa Vanderpump's sign. I was like, girl, you've been doing this for a long time. Is this impressive to you? What's happening? How early is it? Is someone attending to you? Where's Ken?
And then she says stuff like during the reunion, she goes, oh, James, we're going to be here all night if you don't stop. It's like, that's what we want. We want this good, unhinged TV. Come on, Lisa.
I know you are supposed to be in bed 4 hours ago, but like, we want to be here all night. We want to camp out whatever studio, this weird, sketchy studio this is. I've never heard of this studio before. I was like, what room is that? Like the tattoo parlor from the season 2. I was like, that is not a tattoo parlor. That is a soundstage.
You could, yes, these things are very, once you have been on a soundstage, you now are like, oh yeah, we know what you're doing here. But I feel like Lisa acts so much older than she is. She's only like in her early 60s, right? Maybe 65. My
I mean,
mom is going to be 70 and she's way radder than
yeah.
Lisa Vanderpump. And I'm just like, I do think that Lisa should walk away from the show because, like I've heard you and Jason say, you know, it's not really about what it once was, them working at SUR. They all met there, but now it's branched off onto all these other things. So it can still fall under the umbrella of Vanderpump Rules because they're still in this Vanderpump world. But we don't need Lisa with her like old-timey internalized misogyny, just like, oh, darling, no. I was like, what do you think happens to the vagina when you're pregnant? Like it sews itself shut till the baby comes? Like,
Gross. You have sex, but you're pregnant, darling. You couldn't possibly. Do you know what sex is? Just like sex shaming Lala. First of all, Lala has enough shame. Okay, she's dealing with a lot of shit.
Yeah,
like it was such a weird. I think everyone in that room was like, what? They're like, she's up. You know, like, someone put that woman back in. Let's get her in so we can talk.
Just take her. And that's what she was doing last season's reunion, when like Lala and James and everyone was going hard at Sandoval, which we wanted to see because this was at the height of Scandal. We just found out. And she was like, stop it. It's like, no, just like Ariana says, the devil has enough advocates. We do want to see this man have to be under, pressure. We want to see him have to answer to what he's done to somebody and to something.
Yeah. And like, Lisa, we get it. You're his kind of boss, of many bosses of his, but also like she's always protected him. She's always protected Schwartz. It's like why they have restaurants and someone like Katie doesn't. It's like, also Katie should have a tequila line. I'm saying it right here. Katie needs to have her own tequila line. Why do the Toms have a whiskey line and Katie doesn't have a tequila Katie line? And again, you can, Katie, right?
Yes, I 100% agree because the marketing alone with the rage text and tequila Katie.
Yeah. Just slap some rage text on the packaging. I would buy many cases of it.
Rebecca, do you know her? Can you get in touch with her? Because she really needs that.
It's funny that you say that. I did DM her about it. I'm not sure who she is. I was like, hello, I am a random person who's obsessed with you and your show. How about you start a tequila line? I have no qualifications for this, but here's a suggestion from an anonymous white woman.
Yeah, that is genius, Rebecca. That's so smart because also putting some of the text on there, since now we're all, weaponizing text and we're monetizing from them like Lala, monetizing them. Have Katie do it. And she can I would buy the bottle and I'm an alcoholic. I can't even drink it. I would buy the bottle that had the text where she tells Lala, save your money from the lawyer, get a therapist, you're a clown. I would wear that on a t-shirt, have that on a tequila bottle. Like I would.
No, we want all her classic tests too. We want like the one about Tom Schwartz. We want like the, impotence text. Yeah. We want to collect all of them and have them in an array. And you don't have to drink the liquor inside of it. You could have them as decoration, just to fucking fire you up when you need a good firing up.
Hell yeah, like Kelly saying, flood her DMs with that. Just like, please, Katie. And yeah, how about the text that I want to see all the texts that she sent Schwartz when he let himself be upgraded to first class? Was it going to Hawaii or Mexico? And then
she's like, trade me. And
didn't
he's like,
bring her.
Oh, I can't trade you. And she's like, she's going down the aisle like with fucking Satan.
And I would be too, because he's Mr. I don't need fancy things. I'm just like flip-flops.
It's like, no. Yeah, I want to see I want their whole history. Can we FOIA? That's Freedom of Information Act.
Yes.
Let's FOIA all their phone records. Like, get them all. And we'll decide as a group, as a community, what text go on her packaging and are part of her marketing, what don't. We can do it here.
Yes, I love that. Please, we need to FOIA all that. Stephanie, thank you for the super chat. Stephanie says, Joleen, I may have missed this, but did you see Scheana's shirt on her last podcast? It's her new merch. It says, how can I make this about me? I saw it. Did you see it, Rebecca?
I did see it. It is.
Let me share it here for you guys. It comes in, just so you know, in case we never want to stop a lady's bag. We do support the women, sometimes even the ones that are, Scheana. Don't agree with what she's doing at all, but actually I don't know if I support this because I feel like the same thing you're shitting on Ariana for, and you're still profiting off of her trauma and what she went through, and you're like, bring it out of the house because you're my best friend. What do you think of this t-shirt line, Rebecca?
I mean, I've seen it. I thought you were gonna put it up there, but
Sorry, I'm sending it to myself. I apologize.
oh yeah, no, I think it's. I mean, it's corn. I mean, like, listen, I don't begrudge any of them for capitalizing. I think they're all, in my humble opinion, freaking out because they've stopped filming and they're all pretty bad with
Yes.
money, just historically. So I think a lot of them are kind of scrambling. God, Scheana.
For sure. Thank you, Chicken Head. Says this is so funny. Thank you, Chicken Head, Pecan Neely.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I can't. I'm just like, do your thing. None of their designs are ever like, I mean, there's something about her merch. I'm also like, nothing that they have aesthetically. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. But like, do your thing, I guess. Scheana, she's always going to be about stuff like this. Scheana's always going to be kind of, she's going to Scheana and she's going to like,
Sheena's gonna Scheana.
there, I don't know.
Yeah, and she did have those t-shirts, justice is served, because on her podcast one of her listeners said that after she had her final hearing with Rachel, where Rachel didn't proceed, she didn't show up on the restraining order, and so someone's like, oh, Scheana, justice is served, with the sir instead of SER, and she had that forever. And I don't think that got her a down payment on a house like Send It to Daryl did, but Brock's got a job now. Look at it. He can model her clothes.
Brock, there he is. He's not in a blazer, so I guess I approve. It is wild. It's wild.
Let me ask you.
Okay, I have that vision in my head of her leaving the courthouse during that, like before she made those shirts. Do you remember that? Where she looked like she was from like LA Law. She just was in she's like a brown blazer, and like her hair was like slicked back in a ponytail. She had like little glasses, little Y2K glasses, and she was in like, it was just very funny. I was like, are you an action star leaving, Stanley Moss?
Like Trinity from the Matrix.
Matrix floating.
Now, okay, let me ask you this. As a TV producer, okay, now I forgot what I was going to ask you about. Like, I want to ask Rebecca this. Oh, the Brock thing. Okay, here's what I heard about Brock, right? So I think Up and Adam said this. Shout out to Up and Adam and Jason. I think on one of his lives recently, he said that Brock is actually not paid. So how Vanderpump has it, he doesn't get, if you're a spouse and you're not a main cast member, you don't get paid. But if you don't film, then your spouse, like Scheana, couldn't be on the show. So basically Brock's on there so that Scheana can remain having her position and get paid. Is that a thing?
I mean, I've never heard of that before. Honestly, if you're on TV, and again, I'm sure they have all different like nuanced deals, especially with this show that's been such a hit, obviously, and has been on for so long, and the characters are very kind of, I'm sure each of their deals is very specialized in some ways to them and their, romantic situation. But I've never heard that. And also like, so Brock comes in because he has to, but he doesn't get, it's kind of dick on producers. I mean, he's out there, he's getting eviscerated by me, like you get the money for it. I'm all for paying people.
Right? If you're going to appear, I feel like that's like such a shitty thing. And another reason why they need some kind of reality TV union type thing.
Absolutely. What about Peter? Justice for Peter?
Oh my God. What did Peter really say this season they asked him to come back for free?
I was like, oh my God, this is worse than we thought. First of all, you could say what you want about Peter. He's very boring. There was one specific scene, I think season 9 or 8, where it was him and Raquel like out in the back of Sir, and it was the most boring thing I've ever watched. I was like, oh my God, here it was like 20 seconds, and I was like losing my mind. But I was like, we don't care about him, but he is Peter, and he's part of this, Vanderpump universe, and I do want to see him, and I do want to like, I want to have him like do weird, awkward things every now and again to cleanse my palate. But the fact that they're not paying him, I'm like, pay this man. He works at Sir as a manager. Like Lisa, who came on the West Hollywood City Council to make sure that people were not getting paid minimum wage when they were trying to raise minimum wage. Like, Lisa's a horrible boss, and this is his actual job. So let's give him a little bit of money. Bravo.
Right. And it's shocking that Lisa hasn't been called out more for that, because that every time I hear it, I think I put it in the back of my mind so I can keep watching these shows. But I'm just like, oh God, she did do that. She did.
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa. Oh no, Lisa. Okay. So someone's asking me, now I was asking Rebecca a little bit about this before we started, and she hadn't heard about it, but yesterday, Joe Wenberg aka Kaylee Joe Wenberg.
Yes.
So,
yes.
and you know the Kaylee Joe.
We're both from the same city. I want to say that. And I know many women kind of like the Joe archetype. So this makes total sense to me. Yeah.
Rebecca.
And we're similar ages. And like, I want to know where she went to high school. I'm sure I can figure it out.
Do you know her?
I mean, I don't. I wish, because I love her. I think she was like a wild ass energy that we just needed, because everyone was being so produced and so like hokey. So I appreciate it, and we got to see how bad Schwartz is through her.
Yes, we did get to see that. I'm wondering though, Rebecca, I have a little bit of a different take on this. I wonder if she is kind of like a Dirty John situation. I say it's like a Dirty Joe situation. So clearly I'm following her Instagram lives, and clearly something is going on, whether it be mental health or addiction. That's just my thoughts. I don't want to, I don't want to diagnose her, but it's pretty apparent that something's going on. Now, Schwartz has made these very cryptic comments, as has Scheana, as has Kristen, to these things Joe has done, and Joe possibly being kicked out of certain Vanderpump cast establishments, or not being allowed in some people's homes. Schwartz recently was on Doty's podcast with Luke, saying that Joe told egregious lies, things you can never come back from. He never wants her in his life. And Kristen's like, yes, I know. Scheana's like, Katie had called it from the beginning with the spooky. Joe has been moving really weird, obviously. But it could be attributed to multiple things. Like you're saying early on, I'm thinking, okay, she's just so new to this reality TV game, even though she's been on the peripheral, for a while. So maybe we're seeing this kind of like hitting the live button unhinged because she doesn't understand. It's a first season thing, Yeah,
it's all this. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Limbs applying. Yeah.
Yes. Or
I think it's gotten worse, especially now that she's just doing Instagram lives. And I think it's teetering. And this is kind of that line with the show in general, because there's a lot of instability on the show where it's like, when do we say no and are like, this is probably not healthy? Not that, the producers can, it's lots of different factors. And when are we like, oh my God, like we need a little bit of chaos, and they are an adult person and they're on the show. Like, what is the line? And I think it's a big reality producer conundrum.
It is. And she could hide it for a while, because I didn't think she was this unhinged when she was on the show. Also, you have editing and stuff. But now it seems that once he pulled away with the 23-year-old, we've seen this whole unhinged. And so when people found out her name was really Kaylee, it just kind of made like this like lore around her. Like, I was like, oh, what's happening? And then I found out, I was looking, just on the Reddit, shout out to the Vanderpump Reddits and stuff, that they do the Lord's work.
They really do. They're heroes. They're our heroes.
Oh my God, they're such heroes. And they were saying that she went to St. Thomas in Minnesota. And I was like, oh, she's a little cake eater. We got a little bit of money because daddy's a doctor. Mommy is maybe a teacher or something. Yeah. And then she transferred to St. Thomas and went to some other private school in Wisconsin. And I had never heard of it, but my Wisconsin people said it's a really good school.
Wait, what school?
I don't remember offhand. I'm sure someone in the chat will know, because I think there was a couple people whose siblings went there. So if you guys remember what school it was, but when she went there, people found out she went there because right away she got in. Let me see if I have a Joe Wenberg file on my desktop here. Because I'm like, this is either going to be an episode of Snapped, or I mean, it just seems like something's going to go down with this. Yeah. You know what I mean? So at first it was like, okay, is she playing it up for the cameras? What was it? Okay, do you know this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. It is like a fancy private school,
which is just like St. Thomas in Minnesota. Is a fancy, nice, like, and you got to be really smart. So that started my dirty joke. Because I'm thinking, you can't be a dummy and get into St. Thomas or possibly this St. Norbert. So I feel as though, and then we heard rumblings that she stole. Okay, I don't think you can steal a man, but she acquired another lady's boyfriend. And she collected them. She put them on. It was like, get in my bag. And she get in my Bay's travel bag or whatever that one is. That
boho giant, like woven, like indigenous people. I was like, there's a lot of like beads happening. What is her heritage?
It's like exactly beads, and she's like that Free People brand. I feel like she's all about the
Free People. Yeah, dangly and like mesh and like kind of like crochet.
Yes. macrame, like not like Ramona, but kind of.
Yeah, like similar, like 10 years before.
She went to Kohler. Do you know this high school?
I know where Kohler, Wisconsin is, which is a very like kind of bougie. It's Kohler. Actually, they make like fixtures, like
the
faucets.
bathroom and kitchen faucets. I think I have a Kohler. Oh my god!
There you go. But it's a very like sheltered place. It's about 35 minutes from where I grew up, actually. But
Okay.
I've only been on like little, because they have, it's very scenic. So bougie, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like when she posts pictures from being back in Wisconsin, I mean, obviously Wisconsin has as many lakes. I mean, you guys do want to claim you have more lakes than us, but you count ponds as lakes, and I'm not going to hate here, Rebecca. You didn't make that rule.
We wanted to be heard.
And I hear you.
State.
And you deserve it. I mean, I went to UW River Falls, so I went to a Wisconsin, college, and so I do love my
UW person.
I was going to transfer to UW Madison, and then I got too scared, and then I just stayed in Little River Falls.
I mean,
that was like the dream to go to Madison because it was such a cool city.
Well, we did drink Everclear straight, so
we did that in River Falls too.
Okay, so
and then threw it immediately back up on the carpet of the apartment you're at. Yeah.
When I went to visit the campus, I saw a woman. There's a Jamba Juice on State Street. You may know this too. But I saw a woman just projectile vomiting off the Jamba Juice on State Street, the second balcony over the Jamba Juice, and I was like, "This is where I want to go to school." I did. And I did.
This is a learning institution.
Alive.
I love it. So knowing all this about Joe and that she procured this gentleman, collected him, and then went off and started this new life. It's like, oh, is she one of these people who can just reinvent her personality like a dirty John, like a dirty Joe? And now we're hearing from Schwartz that not that he holds much weight, that he's as bad as his friend Sandoval, but more in a covert way. We're seeing.
I fucking hate him.
I know. I love when you go off about Schwartz.
I think he's worse than Sandoval. I'd rather have Sandoval, honestly.
At least it's blatant.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that some bullshitty, like fucking manipulative, like faux charming, like dude? And again, I think it's because a lot of, and again, like being in comedy for so long, I think a lot of the Schwartzy kind of mannerisms and affectations, especially like as a young person dating, like I get Schwartz PTSD.
No, seriously, because it's exactly how Lala originally described him, like nervous, fingers in my mouth, nervous. Like he plays
a mother.
Yeah, he plays off that like passive aggressive, like, well, I don't want to rock any boats, while he's literally sinking the boats. Like, we know what you're doing, sir.
Yeah. You shouldn't be. You are so lucky. Schwartz is so lucky to have the genetics that he has, to be where he is, and yet he still just wants to, sink the ship. But sorry, I keep interrupting you. I think you're talking about Joe and how she's dirty Johnny.
Oh, okay.
Names into verbs on this.
No, I love that. She's dirty Johnning. We're dotying.
But that's in the Vanderpump world too. I mean, Jason Couchy. I think it's very part and parcel to a Vanderpump character to be reinventing themselves, coming in as someone very different, perhaps, or trying to be different, and then just completely devolving into whatever
kind of when everyone was going, oh, I feel so bad for Joe. I'm like, I do. I don't think she deserved to be treated the way that Schwartz treated her at all. But I also think she's been in this circle for so long, and she's done some dirty deeds herself. So how long has she been planning to get on the show? How long was she planning to hook up with Schwartz? How she was complicit and kind of an accomplice to Sandoval, going to Big Bear on a couples trip with Raquel and Sandoval.
Yeah. Like, sorry.
Total. No worries. We're dog friendly. Hey, doggy, what's up? And so that's the part of me that's like, she's not this. I think people want to paint her as like, because immediately she came out and she was like, I have ADHD, and you can't say anything. It's like, so do I. Who doesn't have ADHD? You know what I mean? What's your dog's name?
Her name is Boom. She's deaf, even though she's very loud right now. But I'll mute if she keeps going a little bit.
Oh my God, she's so sweet. She's deaf?
Sweet, yeah. I'll send you a photo after this.
Yeah, send me a photo of her. Yeah, if you have to mute.
Feelings about Vanderpump.
Yeah, she does. And I think she's trying to tell us about Joe. But yeah, if you have to mute at any time, go ahead. If you don't have to, you don't have to, because we understand we're working dog moms.
That's right.
Did you tell the baby to shut up?
We're just honest. hardworking dog moms trying to recap a TV show while our dogs get pampered and do whatever they want.
Exactly. So with Joe, it's like she immediately tried to run. She wanted to be able to say all these things about Katie, you know, and go, oh, get over it, get over it. But then when it happens to her, we have to have all this empathy. And then, you know, it seemed like she had very little empathy and she was trying to be like that cool girl, that pick me. And it's like, you're 36, chick. Like there's a time pick that in your 20s and then you learn. Hopefully by then. So then I struggled with my empathy for Joe because I think, you know, we've seen this, and I know you and Jason talked about this on your podcast, but we have seen mental health be weaponized horribly, especially this season.
Yeah, we did talk about that. It's really hard to watch.
Yes.
It does everyone a real disservice because there is obviously room for dialogues around mental health, and I think they can be really constructive. Do I think it's with Scheana, Lala, and Lisa at Sir? No.
Yeah. It sucks. So that's where I'm like, I struggle with Joe. So Joe did Alive, and she was all of a sudden, after the Schwartz thing came out, where Schwartz is just like, nope, she's out of my life. Like she's never coming back. And you've seen, you know, I'm sure some of her unhinged Instagram lives. And so
person in the back, like her height woman,
who looked like a Kardashian.
I was like, are you sedated too? I was like, you're very low energy, but like Joe's like bouncing off the walls, but you're like, yeah, girl. You're like, every once in a while, you're like, yeah, girl, and you're back. You know, it's like a very strange. I was like, who are you now?
Exactly. And so when this is, you know, all when this all came out, then she was like, okay, I now you guys, Checkers, my dog, who we know she has this one-eyed dog who lost his eye due to glaucoma or whatever. She said, I need to start a GoFundMe for Checkers. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. So I was on like a live with my mom on our members only. We do this Night Pants with Nana. And it's so fun. Oh my God. We have the best time. But one of our wonderful subs was like, hey, did you see Joe has a GoFundMe? I'm like, GoFundMe. And I'm already getting weird grifter, scammer, dirty Joe vibes from her because she's got the hats, the clothing line, the cameos. Like I will, you know, I'll say Happy Mother's Day. I'll read Schwartz's restraining order to me on, you know, cameo. Basically, she didn't say that, but I feel like everything's for sale. And then she, yes, and she outed his text. Did you see when she outed his text messages?
Oh yeah. I mean, that was again.
I loved it.
Oh, I love. Yeah, I mean,
show it all.
Huge Schwartz hater. I'm like, let's do it. At your expense. I guess we'll answer that later. Okay, let's hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
GoFundMes in general, I'm just like, unless it's for something that's like a serious medical thing, I'm always just like, yeah, what's the deal? You know, what are we doing here? You're from an affluent family, like you have some resources available to you. What's the deal?
And what about Lisa Vanderpump? You're on a show with a lady who runs dog rescue.
Exactly. Who procured a fake Graham and put them back in the season.
Is that what happened? It's not the real Graham? I think so.
Dogs, right?
It could be.
We all agree on this, that they're different dogs. Before and after photos.
That's actually, I am so up on the Vanderpump Rules conspiracy, and that's one I haven't heard.
Well, I made that up, so you heard it here maybe second. I think
I love that. But I hope the real Graham is okay somewhere.
Yeah,
no, we have so many dog moms and dog dads in the chat, so we're regular. I do commercial breaks, like I told you, because I have to take if the dogs take precedent. They're our babies. You know, they're talking to us. If you want to bring your little baby up, you do whatever you want. Yeah, whatever. If she wants to, I mean, but Joe. So so all this stuff is happening. So then she's like, has this GoFundMe? I look at it. So probably she's trying to raise like $3,200 or $3,400, and I'm like, okay, well, first ask Lisa Vanderpump, or ask your dad who's a doctor, or there's a care credit, which I've used that previously.
Oh, absolutely. And you can do interest free for, I think it's like 20. It's a certain amount of months. It's like it makes it work. You need something for your pet, you get it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem for someone. I understand she lives in LA, but I'm sure she didn't get a bunch, being on one season of the show, but you are a hairdresser, you got merch sales. There's a way to come up with this without turning to the fans right away. It just seems really early to be asking us to pay. Now, when it's a dog though, I will donate, whether I like you or not, if I know it's going to the dog. So if you look at her GoFundMe, Rebecca, it's like this big of a description. And the description is basically telling us the bills are piling up, but she doesn't say what the treatment is. She says, but basically she starts scaring us going, the vet said he might lose his eye. And now we're like, his other eye, like both of his eyes, like we don't want blind checkers. And all the while she's got this dog in a chokehold. She's already been criticized because she's so hard on the dog's face. And she was saying the glaucoma spread to the other eye while she's taking her dirty paint by number hands and rubbing them because she's telling us how she's doing crazy things to deal with the breakup by like paint by number. And I'm like, that's the least crazy thing you can do. It tells you exactly where to paint and the number. Like you're not eating the paint, you're not smoking the paint, you're painting by number. It's not crazy. So it's an all over the place video, and where then she's trying to tell us the story of how he first lost his eye. And she says something was wrong with them. She brought him all the way back to Wisconsin. She had her dad, who's a doctor, not a vet, say, oh, I think you should take him to the vet. So then she takes him to the vet. So then they're like, he's got to lose the eye. And it's like, were you not taking him regularly?
Wow, what is happening?
Exactly. Where's
the negligence? Where does it start in this saga?
Yes.
Exactly.
And now he's a 12-year-old dog. And you're manhandling him. You got him on every live. He is growling at her and she's like, he's still okay. And it's like, no, he doesn't like the way you're touching him. It's late at night. You're acting erratic. The dog wants to rest. Leave him alone. And so I got worried about because I'm thinking about this damn dog and we're not getting a follow-up answer to this. Then all of a sudden we check it the next day. She changed the amount to $2,000 now. And we're like, what? So all these weird, yes.
Wild.
It's so wild.
I can't wait to do my own little trolling around it too, because it's so, the saga and the stories and like her roundabout way of like expressing this to people. And because you're asking people for money, you have to be like forthright about it. But she's using her like frenetic Joe-ness to be like, and yeah, where's the Joe my gosh hat fund? Why isn't that going to Checkers?
Well, then she goes with her. Okay, so there's this lady Sonia who she is doing. She's partnering with for her like breakup sweatsuit. Have you seen her kind of trying to pimp those things out? Now she has a clothing line.
Okay. She's expanding her empire.
And you know what? Okay, fine. But now she's got that and she's got these like breakup sets and she's like, they're just so comfy. And she's very erratic and going live about these breakup sets. And she's like, doing all this stuff. And you're like, okay. So she goes live yesterday. So we don't hear anything. She changes the GoFundMe. I read in the comments, all the comments want to know, can we send directly to the vet? Can you tell us if he needs surgery? Is he going to lose the eye? Are you getting him drops? How are you treating this glaucoma? Because she's explaining glaucoma going, yes, we're invested now because it's your dog. And if you just told me what it was going to, I probably would give you money. But I'm already like sketched out. You're not sure.
Sketchy. So like, then you're like, I'm sketchy, but here's a crisis. And then you're like, oh, cool. This crisis, needs money from anonymous people, but like we don't know the paper trail of that. It's peak sketch.
It's very peak sketch. So then she goes the next day. She doesn't answer any of the people. People are like, just tell us, have you hit up LVP? Why don't you, as a 36-year-old woman, why can't you afford the $3,200 or now the $2,000 you need? What's happening in your life? I do think, just like you said, when you ask people for money, you do have to be transparent about that. Because there's a lot of scammers.
Yeah, there's mostly scammers in Vanderpump too. Like it's not in favor. Like it's actually the bias against people asking for money at Vanderpump is very real because it should be, So is Checkers okay?
Is Checkered okay? So long story short, Linda, I do have like her little thing. I didn't get time to upload it, but she did go live with her clothing designer. So there is this woman who dressed her for the reunion tomorrow. Now, it's not the hype woman. It's this other lady, very beautiful, a little bit older woman, probably older than Joe, maybe older than me, maybe like in her 50s. And her name is Sonia. And apparently she dressed Joe for the reunion. And Joe has been going off about how I was best dressed. She keeps saying that. And I'm like, by who? Who said that? Was there a poll?
Yeah. Also, you don't get to say that anyway, even if whatever poll you found, whatever skewed, whatever, statistician you found that's like, sure, like, you also shouldn't be saying that. Let other people say that if it's real. I
Yeah.
didn't think that she ever did, though. I mean, she looked bad. I'm glad she wasn't wearing board shorts and a fucking trucker hat. And I was like, I don't know what you're going to wear, girl, to this thing, So it was like, you're in a dress? All right.
And she's one of those women who like makes her personality while shitting on other women by saying, I just don't wear makeup and I just don't even like care about looks. It's like, you live in LA and you're a hairdresser. You care about looks. I see you're wearing mascara and eyeliner right now. Please stop.
Industry to care about looks.
Yes.
Like that's your livelihood. And so you saying that it's again, it's a very like, oh, whatever. It feels so dated. It feels like very like pick me girl dated. I'm like, that that's not like cool to say anymore. Oh, there she goes again. I'm sorry. It's not cool to say
worries.
And it's not like fun. It doesn't endear us to you at all. And clearly you do wear makeup. So you're lying to us yet again about another thing. And like, just it's okay if you want to get dressed up. Like it's okay. In fact, in this group, like I was like, when Scheana's bullying you, something's wrong. Like Scheana's the one who's got the upper hand. It's like, yeah, maybe like wear like something. Everyone else is there in like their top, like they're like dressed to the nines, like fucking head to toe, and you come in looking like you just did go surfing. Like you're your stylist. Like it could be good for your business too to maybe like look good on this show.
Right. And you can have this like casual, cool style. So that's what this Sonia found her and was like, oh, no, there is a style to you. Let me help you enhance it, which I was like, okay, cool. Awesome. So then they started making these things. So she goes live. So I'm trying to upload the other thing, but it's probably not going to be in time. But I do have the audio. Okay, you guys. This is the end of that live. Let me make sure that I have the right one. No, that is not the, okay, here. No, that's not the right one. I'll just fast forward to the end of this one. So I have the whole live. So they're talking about her clothing line, and she prefaces before she goes live. She does a story saying, hey guys, I'm going to be going live with Sonia. She's gracious enough to like go live with me. And I'm so quirky. Sonia, I can't wait. And Sonia, and you can ask me anything you want about the clothing line and checkers. But I'm not talking about Tom. And we're like, okay, we don't really want to hear anything about Tom. We don't care anymore. But I'm thinking, okay, good, checkers.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So then let me think. It's the last, how long is this? It was like a 32-minute live. Rebecca, she walked off. She got so mad. She thinks she was trolled, but you invited people to ask about checkers. Okay, so she's drinking. Okay, so I just have this it's her and that's Sonia, her little partner, who's this beautiful woman, helped her with their clothing line. So we'll just listen to it here and then it'll be a couple minutes.
Oh no.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Drink water. Yeah, I'm literally like, I'm ice water. I love ice water in a coffee mug.
Like proving she's not drinking or something?
All right, well. Thanks, guys. I know. Thank you, Kira Sorensen 11. Yes. And hi from Australia. I love you guys so much. Hatline Joe. Yay! Skittles or M&Ms? Skittles. What about you?
Pressing questions.
Yeah. I like a little sweet and sour. Are you spending the Joe My Gosh money on checkers? No.
So I don't know if you guys. Yeah, someone asked, are you spending the Joe My Gosh money on checkers? She has a shop, Joe My Gosh. If your dog is in such dire straits that he might lose an eye, which would make him fully blind, I would be spending every penny I had to do. I wouldn't even be live with this lady. I'd be at the vet figuring it out. And now we're all like, why aren't you? What's the update, babe? Like,
yeah, for real. Every penny I already make does go to my dog.
Right.
As healthy as you can hear. So the idea of like, you're like, no, that money's for me. The Joe My Gosh money, the empire of Joe My Gosh shit, ugly ass trucker hats is going just to you. At least she is like, honestly, she could have been like,
right?
Yes, I'm going to him.
So, okay, so she starts there and then she's like, oh, and I predicted this yesterday. I go, here's what's going to happen. People are going to question her like I'm doing right now. And she's going to turn this into a victim parade. You guys are just bullying me more. It's just more ways to bully me. I can't win. Because I feel like I've seen this happen with like YouTubers doing this, like grifting YouTubers do this when they are like sad fish and try to get your money,
Wait, the GoFundMe? The GoFundMe money? Yeah. The GoFundMe money is for checkers. I don't make it, we're not making money off of our clothing line yet. So like that's not even. I just need help with paying for a surgery. It's not like I have a rich mom and dad to be like, well,
You do that.
or
No, but you make $1 million.
Your dad's a doctor.
oh, apparently I make $1 million. So like there's that, which I never did. So love that. Nobody does.
Who said you did?
Yeah, no one said that.
Why are they? Yes, Jen. Okay, wait. What's the thing? Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay, let's clear up something really quickly.
She's reading comments.
This is very.
What did it say?
Here's what I'm going to get mad about right now. I'm going to get very mad about this right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone holding you accountable for something.
No.
Yeah.
When it comes down to a dog, and then my job, and then doing a live version of like a live video of my. Oh, I'm going to get so mad right now. And then I get to wear my baby on my body. When it comes down to it, you guys, you have to separate the clothing line from my dog, okay? Just because I'm wearing...
Okay, so this is while she's selling part of her clothing line, has her dog Checkers on her shirt currently at the time, okay?
Right,
so that's a shirt she's wearing to sell that says Checkers. But we have to separate her clothing.
Very hardcore right now.
Her clothing line from her dog, Rebecca. Oh my God. And she's clearly very upset. Very upset. Okay.
She's always upset. I mean, it's like she wants to do her own thing. And it's like, I mean, it's very Sandoval too, where it's like, whoa, I'm going to just run fucking rampant. And then I'm going to do whatever I want. Everyone's going to be like, what? And then if anyone calls her out, she's like, whoa, you're bullying me. This is insane. This is outrageous. And it's like, yeah, you invited this in. You had a live, like, sorry, this is what you wanted. People asking you questions. They can't all be M&Ms or fucking Skittles. That's the hard-hitting shit that we want to hear. Come on.
It's not all going to be, I love you from Australia. Like, it's not all going to be that. And if that's what if you just want like a circle jerk of compliments, start a Discord or something. I don't know. What do they do over there?
Discord people. Who knows what they do?
I don't know. I'm old. Okay, we'll keep listening.
A dog sweatshirt doesn't mean that I'm using the money that I get from Shop to, oh my gosh, which is $0 right now. It takes years to profit. I'm wearing this for my baby, okay? And fuck you for saying that I'm taking, go to my gosh darn GoFundMe, and that is separate. I'm so fucking pissed off at this right now. Like, are you kidding me? Oh my God. You guys don't even understand like how it is. These women, there's people that are on here that are like, I just lost my dog yesterday. Are you fucking kidding? Can you end this? I can't. I can't even deal with this. Okay. Well, there you go. She obviously feels
for her dog.
I
She
can't
can
have
barely
dog.
see it.
Oh my
The
God.
dog appreciates that. So funny.
For my baby. Did she get this line from Lala, who every time she's held accountable, she's like, I'm a mother. And you're like, okay, cool. We love that. But what does that have to
do with what we're talking about?
Yeah. So this poor lady, Sonia's left by herself, Rebecca.
Poor Sonia and her beautiful blowout, just being like, well.
Just like, I thought I could start another business venture with this kooky reality girl. And she's like, I can't. And then she hits her thigh and she gets up and Sonia's like, just wait. Okay. And then she doesn't know how to stop the live. So the lady's like,
And, just hang on the next one.
She says, just hang up.
Are you sure you want to end this like this?
Yeah, because dogs are amazing and I cannot even.
God, the woman is like thinking back on all the mistakes she's made throughout her whole life. And she's like, here I am in this living room.
Right. And again, Rebecca, justice for Katie Maloney, who called this and was dragged for it. And Schwartz tried to do that. Look at Katie's being mean, or Katie's just assessing a situation logically and going, this energy is weird. I don't want it around me. And
Katie's
now
very correct. I'm sorry. Katie's been very historically correct, for many, many seasons. And the fact that, people can be like, whatever, Joe, like Katie's gonna be mad at whomever, but it's like, but this is Joe, like this is this woman here. And it's easy. She's such low hanging fruit that it's like Katie could have come for her way harder this season also. And she sat there while Joe came up to her in the finale and it's like, yeah, what do you expect? What are you gonna do?
I think That's a great point you make, Rebecca, is that she is low hanging fruit, and Katie could have eviscerated her in a way that we've seen Katie do before. And she saw that and she was almost showing her grace, but yet Schwartz kept encouraging. And then Joe would go along with it to go get in Katie's face. And now we're going to see tomorrow Katie have to apologize to Joe, and I'm going to throw up.
Oh my God. I don't, you think she will? Is that something that we saw in the teaser? I forget.
Yeah.
God, Katie. Oh God. The
and then
diplomacy.
Joe's going to sit there.
Yeah.
Yes, the unearned diplomacy. Sorry, I interrupted you. Joe's going to sit there on her soapbox, just acting like she did nothing wrong. She's going to be like, that's no excuse, Katie. It's like, because Katie's like, I was going through a hard time. Okay, I'm sorry. I think that's kind of the paraphrasing it. And I'm sorry, it was the dissolution of her marriage and her family. You were in a situationship, you moved in with them and started having sex with them and bleaching his hair. That's very different. But yet, like you said, Katie, the diplomacy. Sorry, I interrupted you there. The unearned, did you say diplomacy?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's like, Katie is right. She was correct in this. Like she can be mad about this because this is something that any reasonable person would be mad about. The fact that like she's trying to, and she said it herself in the finale, like really eloquently, she's like, I was trying to untangle my life from this person. And you came in and she's like, I needed a roommate. And it's like, literally fucking find another roommate. You know, like you were this guy. And then on top of the Kristen stuff, because they were really close and they don't talk anymore.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you just wanted to weasel your way in. And again, am I thankful for it as a storyline? Of course I am. But the fact that Katie is mad about this, and she's going to apologize is like egregious to me. There's no reason she should be apologizing to anyone this whole season. People should be apologizing to her, including Joe in a more like Joe, Sandoval, Lala. Like who shouldn't be apologizing to Katie? James already did, but like, let's all apologize to Katie.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right. Katie deserves a lot of apologies. She deserves so much better. And yet we even saw Katie have to sit there and say, Brock, you're a good dad. I'm sorry. And I was like, no, what? Katie asked those questions. Why? Well, why about Brock's situation, which I hate talking about. I agree with you. I don't think it should be on the show. I don't like talking about, but Katie shouldn't have to apologize because those are reasonable, logical questions.
Yeah.
When it's been brought up in her circle to go, well, why are you estranged from your children? Why don't you pay? Why are you behind on child support? These are things everyone should be like, why? Because I wouldn't want to be associated with someone like that.
No. And she wasn't even asking in like, the thing is like Katie can eviscerate talk about someone like Lala wishes she were someone. Katie can eviscerate people. She has this power where I'm sure she can leave people like in a puddle of themselves if she wanted to, but she doesn't hold that power lightly. And I think we don't see a lot of that because Katie like holds back because she's trying to like play ball. And again, these questions about Brock, it's her just asking logical questions. It's not like, and then everyone thinks that they're like, she's like, you know, insulted them or something when she's asking things. And it's like, you also don't know Katie. Katie can go at you and you should be lucky that she's not. You should be lucky she's just asking some civilized questions of you and your weird first family back in Australia.
Right. It's so weird. And don't you think it's like, it's great to see all different kinds of women because we're so used to and conditioned to see like the Joe type that's like, or the like agreeable, like go along with the boys, want to be chosen Scheana type. So to see different women and to see Katie, and that's kind of seeing what Ariana's talking about this season is seeing like the female rage and normalizing that. But really they want to, I think Katie's been villainized for a long time. And I had to check my own internalized, misogyny on that a couple seasons to be like, did I judge? I mean, there's obviously, we're all flawed human beings and I'm not, we all make mistakes and it's not like Katie did everything right, but she's human. But were the things criticizing her about, were they things that are just due to, because we're not used to seeing that from women in the media. And it's actually really powerful to see like, fuck you, Tom, and fuck you, Sandoval, and all this, like, shut up, and how much they attacked her. So you're right. She was owed all the apologies from these losers.
Totally. And the show is like really inherently misogynistic for lots of reasons. First of all, like Lisa perpetuates it. I mean, the year that it started and like the timing of it all and like the way that the men interact with the women. And so that like, I like that we're pushing back on that, but obviously not hard enough, because I do think like the conversations around like women who get to rage because they've been absolutely disrespected and wronged gets like villainized, especially by someone like as dumb as Brock. I was like, Brock, you're never going to win in a conversation with Ariana. I'm sorry. You're just never, she's much smarter than you are, and she'll always be smarter than you. So how about you just listen to her? How about you listen to even Scheana, your wife, about her concerns, about how she feels about things, and not try to like, just like steamroll. I'm just like, Brock, you don't even get paid apparently.
I know. How thirsty and hard up are you? I agree with that. Okay. So Cammie's saying, I asked Joe about the dog and she talked about her nails. That seems on par. Okay. So Adam did say that about Brock and Scheana. Lala says she's coming for a podcaster. It could be you, Rebecca. It could be me. Could be anybody. Thank you, Wanda, of the coins for hubby Chels, Num Num Funds. Karen, thank you for the super chat. So I know we got to wrap it up. We're at an hour here, but I do want to end with us taking a look. So here's the last thing that happened in the Joe saga. She had that, walk off. And then this morning, or she posted to her stories like after that, like, sorry guys, the trolls got the best of me. It's like, is it a troll when they're asking you a logical question about your GoFundMe and worried about your dog?
No, but we love using the words like trolls. We love gaslighting.
Bully.
Which are all real words and like real things that happen, obviously. But I think it's just like this escape. It's just like, I want to just not be held accountable. These are all codes for hold me accountable, even though I'm inviting criticism and dialogue,
She literally said, ask me about checkers, but they didn't ask the question. You should have said, ask me the questions I approve of about checkers. You should have had them send them in beforehand. And what she does is she tends to, and I've seen this happen before because I've followed previous sagas with problematic YouTubers that do this, and they seem to only highlight negative comments to garner sympathy from their audience of, look, I'm being bullied. And on any given moment while I'm live, I will have people come in the live to say, you suck, this is stupid, but I'm not highlighting your comment. One of my mods will delete them. I'll delete them. We move on with our lives. Unless it's like a really fun troll. Like one time there was this person that trolled me about sharding and I laughed for hours and cried. Rebecca, I don't know if I was overtired, but it was so good. It was so good. So if you come in with a really good troll, but she does these things. Yeah. And so now after she put out that she got trolled, she then removed all of the GoFundMe information from her bio on Instagram.
Right. Good.
However, it was still available on her dog's Instagram that someone started for her recently. And the it's still here.
Real name.
It now is, she's got $1,226 of her $2,000 goal. We have no update. So she says it's for my dog's surgery, but we really have, I hate when I share, I got to share the Chrome one because otherwise it's all like, looks all yucky. But yeah, see how much, so nice. Okay. So, her description, so we heard her say the surgery, but the description says 3 years ago, Checkers lost an eye due to glaucoma. And now it seems to be affecting his other eye. His medical bills are piling up. And though I never wanted to ask, I need help with the payments. His remaining eye is turning glossy, and our vet suggests it might need to be removed due to the spread. Are you getting it? Can you save it?
I don't understand. Yeah, it's so, we don't know what's happening. What medical bills? You never wanted to ask, but you are. You need help with payments. What payments? Yep. Eyes glossy. What's the diagnosis on that? Our vet suggested it might need to be removed due to the spread. Why did they suggest the spread of what? Any assistance? Great. You love your baby, but how much?
Yeah, because why isn't he at the hospital right now? Why don't you know exactly? Any given time, I talked about this yesterday, and as a dog mom, if you go to the vet, they'll break it down for you. At least my vet does. Even before if you want to get this treatment or you want to do this test, here's what it'll be. Here's it'll be if you don't. And so just a little bit of transparency, especially when you're asking for people to open their pockets up, and especially when you're pulling on the heartstrings by showing us a dog that could go completely blind.
Yeah, we are all invested. We want to, people want to help dogs. People love dogs. This is not like, again, a hard ask if you can back it up with some good documentation. Like you said, any vet will supply that, and in
Mhm.
an itemized list of whatever receipt, whatever treatments, and even like pop some actual medical words in there, maybe, not
Yeah.
just glossy and spread,
And
okay.
is the doctor says he might maybe have to get well, and then on the live when she pops off, she's like, I just for his surgery. Well, is he getting it or not, babe? Because what's really happening here?
Yeah. I mean, really, is she just pocketing? I mean, again, I know she's coming for a podcaster, but where's Checkers? Where's this money going? Are we going to see Joe with a whole new line of dishware or something? Or I don't know. I don't know. I want to believe.
I want to believe too, and I would be the first one. So I started tweeting at Vanderpump and Vanderpump Dogs because I was like, I don't want to appear crazy, but I was just like, hey, Lisa, thanks for your work with dogs. I appreciate it because I really do appreciate all she's done for dogs. And whether I agree with her this season or whatever, could you possibly help Checkers or look into that? Granted, whether they'll ever read that. But then I put it in my story. I saw other people tweet at her. So we were all live here yesterday wondering what we could do to help this dog. Cause now you've made me care because I'm worried about your freaking dog.
Yeah.
And so I want someone to step in. I even tagged Schwartz on my Instagram story. I hid it behind the little thing. I was like, pick up your mess, Schwartz, pick up your mess.
Come on, you brought her in here. Now let's help her and get her out. Let's get her, let's swaddle her somewhere safe, and let's make sure her dog gets whatever they need.
I know it's like, it might show my unhealthy boundaries, but I can't not care now that you know what I mean?
You want to help, and these people are made accessible to us, right? In these ways, which is a blessing and a curse. But the fact that we can like hit up like Katie for a tequila if she's watching.
Yep. Let's flood the DMs.
That's part of what like our parasocial relationship with them is interacting with them, and they didn't want that to a certain extent. Like you don't have to be online. They're public figures.
Right. They could easily, log off for a couple days, which is what Joe needs to do. But first she needs to give us a update. So long story short, I apologize, you guys. The only update, Linda, I have, and thank you everyone for the super chats, is that I don't know if Checkers is okay. I'm hoping that someone in her circle reaches out to her and sees she's spiraling. Hopefully this Sonia lady who seemed very concerned when she walked off in the middle of the live, and she's like, it would be like if I walked off with my mom and I'd be like, I don't know how to stop this. I guess we're live forever now, so
your mom going, okay. Nice blowout.
Yeah. So the GoFundMe is active. I've tweeted. I don't know what more we can do. It's unfortunate, but yeah, Checkers is 12 years old. So yeah, well, I'll keep you guys updated, but I am so excited, Rebecca. I want to have you back to talk.
I would love to be back. Your community, I have to say, I'm reading the comments as we're talking. They're amazing. Like everyone here, I can't, like, I'm so like delighted to be here, and thank you all so much. And you guys are all right and geniuses. Oh,
Rebecca, I knew my peeps would love you. And we look at it over here as like therapy to get through this season. We looked at it like that last season. So, and it's also been a place for us to go when speaking of gaslighting, when I feel like these storylines and these, I say Alexander, or what's his name? Alex Baskin Robbins and Jeremiah was a bullfrog. I just have, and I did hear that Alex Baskins might be part of the Baskin Robbins family, which is interesting. I don't know.
He's like a sourpuss. He's like a downer in real life.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah.
He seems like it.
What I've heard from undisclosed sources, that like he's just like joyless.
It would make sense that he would come as almost like a Nepo type money kind of guy coming into the business. But whatever they're doing, this narrative they're trying to spin, there's so many of us, and especially I think so many women that are just like, F this. This is what we go through every day in life. Like having our, trauma and our stories be downplayed to save some problematic man who's just going to go do this to another woman. Screw you.
Yeah. So. I'm stopping it here, and I have the power enough to say no, and then I know I'm going to get a ton of backlash, much more than any man would ever get if they were in the same situation, and it's insane. And I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to talk about it too, and I'm happy that everyone here is so cool.
Yeah. So Rebecca, tell us again now everything you need to know about Rebecca's Instagram, the Vanderpodcalypse Now Instagram, and their podcast is in the the description of this video, you guys, and also pin to the top of this live chat. And I'll also pin it in the comments. But can you just tell everyone where they can find you? And I want you guys all to just go show Rebecca all the love. You will love this podcast. It's so great because it's not only having wonderful Rebecca, who's hilarious and smart and all the good stuff, but also Jason. And Jason is like a married man. So you have like kind of like the straight guy's opinion. And me and my husband used to do that. We used to have a Married to Bravo podcast we did years ago. And so it's interesting to get, you know, his take. And Jason has some great takes too. And you guys are like a great duo. So where can everybody find you guys?
I'm at Rebecca Leib, Leib. It's grammatically incorrect, a little bit confusing, but that's my name. And then the podcast is the most ridiculous name we've been told ever. And I guess we're leading into that a little bit. It's Vanderpodcalypse now, Vanderpumprules podcast. We do culture updates, we do all kinds of things. And then my other podcast is Ghost Town. If you're interested in true crime and maybe strange history, a little bit of paranormal in there, that's kind of fun. But yeah, you can find me. I'm on X at Rebecca Leib too. What are other things? TikTok, Rebecca Leib. We're Ghost Town at TikTok as well. But yeah, that's you can find me. And I love talking about this if anyone ever wants to talk.
Yay. And thank you guys. Yes, you guys are all wonderful in the chat. And literally every guest I have is like, oh my God, these people are wonderful. I'm like, right. I feel like I'm not worthy. I've stumbled into this wonderful community and I'm so grateful. Chumbawamba says, I'm glad I made it to this live with Rebecca. Jolene always makes a work a little easier to get through. Rebecca made it a treat. Rebecca, I knew it. I told you guys. I said,
I love you.
We're gonna
have Jolene on the pod too, because of course we have
Yay.
to. And we're gonna do like a big wrap up. It's gonna be amazing.
This is going to be so fun. All right. Stay behind. Stay here. I'm just going to do my outro and stuff, but I want to just chat with you for a second afterwards. You guys, again, go follow Rebecca. Everything is in the description that you need. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for coming. Shout out to all of my super chatters. We will have Rebecca back, but thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And hit that like and comment after the video post because I don't get to all of the comments. We had over 700 strong in the live, so make sure you smash that like. Let's see if we can set a like goal for 1,000 and hit that. And I'll be back very soon with another live. And like I always say, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Bye, guys.